One of the biggest topics right now with the Texans is this whole Whitney Mercilus situation. And if you guys aren't on Twitter, then you probably don't already know. But like on Twitter, there's like a lot of people talking about Whitney Mercilus. Whitney Mercilus, as you guys know, he didn't do anything against the Kansas City Chiefs, and he just signed an extension last year before the season started, and the extension just kicked in this year. So people are saying, what in the world should the Texans do with Whitney Mercilus? Because keep in mind, this wasn't just one bad game with Whitney Mercilus. No, this goes back until last year. Like, yes, he had an amazing start. I believe like the first, I want to say 3 games of the season, he racked up like 5 sacks, 4.5, maybe something, something like that. Like he was having a good start to the season last year, and then after that, he pretty much did absolutely nothing. Like the dude completely disappeared. Some people blamed it on, oh well, Whitney Mercilus is a second pass rusher. He can't be your premier pass rusher. Your premier pass rusher is J.J. Watt. So when J.J. goes down, Whitney doesn't do anything because he's not that guy. So okay, you know what? That makes sense, except that Whitney Mercilus wasn't doing anything even with J.J. Watt there from weeks 4 to 8, which were the weeks that Watt was still there, So Whitney Mercilus wasn't doing anything, and he didn't do anything once Watt returned in the playoffs. Whitney Mercilus was pretty much non-existent, and against the Chiefs on Thursday night, again, he was non-existent. And Whitney Mercilus is getting paid a lot of money, man. I mean, he just got a 4-year extension worth 54 mil. Like, the average salary of that is like, what, 13.5 mil a year? And you're telling me this dude can't beat Eric Fisher? Eric Fisher is a bottom 10 left tackle in the NFL. If Whitney Mercilus can't beat Eric Fisher on his one-on-ones, and believe me, he was on Eric Fisher one-on-one a lot, Whitney Mercilus isn't going to beat many people. Because Eric Fisher is going to be one of the worst left tackles we play this season. Like, next week, we got Baltimore. Whitney Mercilus, if he couldn't beat Eric Fisher, he ain't beating Ronnie Stanley. Week 3, he ain't beating Alejandro Villanueva. He ain't beating Anthony Costanzo with the Colts. He ain't beating Taylor Lewan with the Titans. You know what I'm saying? Like, if this guy couldn't beat Eric Fisher, he's not going to beat many left tackles one-on-one. Now, look, I understand that it was week 1 without OTAs, without, a limited training camp, no preseason. So Whitney Mercilus could be a little bit out of shape, rusty. I get that. I understand that. There's definitely a possibility, except Whitney Mercilus, again, last year, he wasn't doing anything. So this isn't anything new. This is who Whitney Mercilus is now. Like, Whitney Mercilus, he never won because he was, the biggest guy, the strongest guy, or the fastest guy. He won with techniques. Like, he's always been a technician. Like, his little spin moves and stuff. Like, that's how he would win. But now that he's older, he lost some athleticism, so now it's not the same, So even though he was a technician back then, in his prime, even though he can be a technician now, he has always been, like, physically limited. And at this age, like, I just think Whitney Mercilus is never, ever gonna get back to being that guy who he once was. I mean, it sucks to say it, but I just feel like that's the reality of the situation here now. With Whitney Mercilus, well, what do you do with Whitney Mercilus? I mean, his contract, it's brand new, so you can't just cut him. Like, right, you can't cut Whitney Mercilus. I mean, let me pull up his contract right now. I mean, he's got 4 years left on his deal. We can't cut him this year because then we'll take a cap hit. And then we can't cut him next year because we'll take more dead cap, and like that's something the Texans can't afford to do. When can you cut him? After the 2021 season. So we have to have Mercilus on our team for 2 more years. 2 more years. Now, unless the Texans trade him to some team out there for like a, I don't know, 5th or 6th round pick, because I doubt any team out there would take an aging veteran, declining veteran as well, for that big of a contract. Like, I just don't see it. Like, this Whitney Mercilus contract is downright atrocious. So, long-term wise, I feel like you're going to have to stick with Whitney Mercilus for the rest of this season and next season as well, because, like, you're better off keeping him on your team than not having him on your team and still having to pay him all that money, you know? So, yeah, that really, really sucks, man. So, for the people that are saying cut Mercilus, can't happen yet. Trade Mercilus, it could happen, but you're not going to get much in return now. Short term, what do you do with Whitney Mercilus, like, for this season? Well, to me, it's kind of simple, and I honestly don't think the Texans will ever do it, because Whitney Mercilus is, like, a respected veteran on this team, and it's bench him. Bench Whitney Mercilus for the younger, faster, more explosive Jacob Martin. Like, legit, Jacob Martin got, 17 snaps played against the Chiefs, and in one of those 17 snaps, he got a sack on a top 3 right tackle in the NFL, all while Whitney Mercilus struggled against a bottom 10 left tackle in the NFL. So, you move Jacob Martin in Whitney's role, and Whitney becomes the backup situational pass rusher. Like, yes, it sucks benching a veteran player, highly respected player like Whitney Mercilus like that. And yes, you would be benching someone that is making a bunch of money. But at the end of the day, you're doing what's best for your team, man. Because at this point, I don't think Whitney Mercilus is J.J. Watt's sidekick. I don't think he should be. I don't think he can be. I don't think he's good enough to be the number 2 pass rusher on this team. I think the number 2 pass rusher should be Jacob Martin. Jacob Martin, if he gets Whitney's playing time, the dude could rack up double-digit sacks. And then, with Whitney Mercilus having a lessened role, he'd go in there in the 4th quarter while the opposing offensive linemen are tired and he is fresh to go. He might be able to rack up some sacks there as well, because he's going to be fresh, ready to go. He's a smart player still. So he'll be able to take advantage of these tired, beat-up offensive linemen all while he's fresh, So I think that's what you do with Whitney Mercilus short term. Long term, you have to keep him on this roster, man. Like, it sucks, but that's what we agreed to when we signed him to that terrible contract. Like, this is, like, a terrible contract. Like, for all the bad moves that O'Brien has made, like, I guess you could say, because some people do like his moves. Like, I like some of his moves, don't like other moves, obviously, like the D-hop one, yikes. But, yeah, I think this Whitney Mercilus contract is his worst move. Like, I mean, at the time, I guess it kind of made sense. And it's crazy because once upon a time, Whitney Mercilus was severely underpaid. And now he's severely overpaid. I guess Whitney Mercilus is now making the money that he should have made when he was younger. But, yeah, for the Texans, this sucks. They have to keep him on the team for 2 more years, man, because it doesn't make sense to cut him and have that huge cap hit, dead cap, while he's not on your team. You'd be paying him to not be on your team, which is dumb. I mean, he's a respected veteran. Might as well keep him on the team, have him teach Jonathan Grenard a few things. And, yeah, and also Jonathan Grenard, I mean, long term, Jacob Martin and Jonathan Grenard, those are your linebackers. I feel like long term, we'll be in good hands, man. I feel very highly about Jacob Martin, and as far as Jonathan Grenard goes, you cannot be worse than Brendan Scarlett. I feel like that's why Jonathan Grenard is here. I feel like the future is Jacob Martin, and Grenard. I feel like those are like your new outside linebackers, I guess you could say, with Ross Blacklock and Charles Omenihu being your new interior defensive linemen. And you could even throw in PJ Hall in there. So the Texans are set up well for the future. It's just that the Whitney Mercilus contract is yikes. Hopefully, some team out there can take his contract this upcoming offseason, because if they don't, we're going to have Whitney Mercilus on this team again next year. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys for today. Comment down below what you think about this Whitney Mercilus contract. And yeah, be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.